Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have ourselves a special guest here, the Mountain Pass Performance Tesla Model S Plaid. And Sasha's done a bunch of work on it. He just got back to the track from the track, and it has gone very fast. Well, Sasha, thank you for making the pit stop here to tell me and everybody how the track day went. I'm super excited to hear about that. But before we get into that, it's been a while since we last shot a video, and you guys have done what looks to be like amazing work on this car. The wing, the front splitter, and the general stance of this thing is like next level amazing. When this thing rolled in here, I don't know how much camber you got up front, but it just looks like a time attack machine. Like the inside of the tire is touching the outside, isn't it?
It's a beefy car.
It's insane, and it just has so much presence. Like looking at it,
it's just really like,
it's super cool. So anyways, so let's start off with what I think is one of the coolest pieces up front. That front splitter. It's a full functional splitter.
It's a diffuser, yeah.
Oh, diffuser, sorry.
It's a splitter diffuser and fully replaces the OEM under skid tray. So basically it uses the original mounting points.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of my first time designing a splitter, and it was pretty challenging, but it's really cool. And Cayuga, we can't see if it really worked that well.
Fair.
But it looks cool. I basically designed what I wanted and gave it to Spage and Alex. I said, make it.
Yeah.
And he's got to figure out how to make it. He did a great job because even though there's like one little point where you can see it's got like a 1 millimeter gap.
Sure.
And it showed that in the software. So he made it exactly like the one little point that I couldn't get quite right. So.
Good on Alex. He's amazing with carbon work, and the fitment on it is just spot on. Like it looks OEM, which is amazing.
Thanks, man.
And I know we're gonna get a ton of questions. You're making that, right? People will be able to buy it?
I think it'll be like an off-menu thing.
Okay. And let's talk about the wing real quick.
It's Kels's wing.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
So we were short on time. We took Kels's wing off. We didn't think that our single 300 mil element would be enough to balance us out.
Yeah.
So we took Kels's wing and reinforced
Which Kels, by the way, is Sasha's hybrid 350Z. I will link to a video of insaneness.
Cool.
It's the coolest 350Z on the planet. You would think a wing
be too much.
on a car on this would be too much, but it actually just somehow suits it really well.
It's so cool.
And just the black and white theme, like the black wheels and the front
you know what? It
splitter.
wasn't planned.
Oh, it's so good.
It wasn't planned. The cars come with the black trim.
Yeah.
It wasn't really planned, but it just looks really cool. So what else did we do? We did the brakes. Last time we did the test, we didn't have.
We had stock brakes. That was a huge issue before, so you guys upgraded.
Yep.
Just the pads.
Pads, bigger disc.
Yeah, right.
We have a 400 mil rotor, 2-piece, and rear 2-piece.
And that sheds heat much quicker. Like what kind of?
Yes, that's the biggest difference. Is this thing pumps? It's basically an air pump, so it'll pump a lot of heat out. In addition to being a bigger rotor.
Where that was a huge problem with the stock brakes. They just couldn't get
everything. The pads, the rotor.
Fair.
It was basically a big thermal mass. Once you got it hot, it's staying hot.
Right.
Now this isn't like a silver bullet. It's still 1,000 horsepower, 5,000 pound car. It will need forced air cooling if you want to run it for longer than a few laps.
Gotcha.
It's just,
And this you're selling as well?
Yeah, we've sold a bunch of those kits already.
Okay,
they're quite popular.
Yeah.
And we also got rid of the yoke. I know we all know from the last video, if you remember.
So good.
God, I hated that yoke. This wheel is a Model 3 wheel.
The internet hates the yoke, so it's awesome to see.
To have a real circle.
And did you guys wrap that?
It was wrapped.
Okay.
I don't know who wrapped it. It's quite terrible.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it looks good. The 5 seconds I looked at it.
When you're driving and then your gloves are kind of working the suede and it starts to unstick?
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Can't stand that.
Well, speaking of which, why don't we cut to a lap right now? And then
remember last time? Do you want to talk about last time?
Okay, let's just bring it up real quick. The brake failure. What happened?
Oh, well, yeah. Watch the video. The car just spun off the track multiple times.
Yes.
And in our last video, we discussed a little bit of what we thought was happening.
Yes.
That ended up being more or less the case. I can't talk too much about it, but Tesla addressed it. It was a result of, it was triggered by us faulting the system, which then caused this additional problem to occur. So normal Plaid owners wouldn't have experienced this problem.
Gotcha.
It was only because we were trying things that we exposed this bug. So anyways, it's fixed now. We no longer have to do that because we have track mode, which is great.
Yeah.
And the track mode in this car is quite good. It lets you get in trouble, for sure. I got in trouble a few times.
Okay. Well, yeah. Like I said, let's just cut to a lap right now, and then we can quickly talk about it right after.
All right.
Wow, that was pretty impressive. It still looks like a handful.
Yeah, it is. It's 1,000 horsepower. We actually tuned in our Motec so at higher speeds it actually starts reducing the power because these guys at one lap need to run for multiple laps.
Yes.
So we're kind of tuning in the system to make it so that it can run. So it's kind of cool. We can pick what speed and what power so we can shape the power curve.
It's like tuning in the boost.
Yeah, no, it's just what horsepower do you want? That's what you get.
That's amazing.
It's very easy. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But yeah, as you saw, there's water in the first corner. So the lap time, whatever, maybe is not indicative of what it could do, but it was a 14.7.
Okay.
And I was driving it quite poorly, I would say. And it's hard for me to learn how to drive this car so fast. It's got faster than Kelson in a straight line on PS4S street tires.
Yeah.
So
it's a lethal combo, and
I've got a little bit of nervousness.
Yeah. PTSD from that for sure. You don't want to crash the car again. It's not your car ultimately. So I get it. I get it. Yeah.
I was so timid, but at least it's better to be timid than have what happened last time.
But it looks like everything is working. The brakes.
I think there's a 13 in it.
Yeah.
I think, or at least a low 14. But I would be comfortable with it. So for you guys who don't know TMP lap times, like a 113 was my unlimited rear-wheel drive record for my 350Z for many years. I was stuck at 113, 112 for many years. And this is not so much a power track. So the Plaid, it's just starting to go and then you're braking. So 3 or 4 seconds faster than Model 3 on our compounds. And a faster track, 6 or 7 seconds a lap maybe.
Yeah, man.
It's just a drag racing car. And we've at least got it now. It still feels big, but now it feels tight. And it's working. So the worst problem with this car, if I have to pick one thing that I say I really hate, is the steering rack. It's one of those cars that gives you no feedback.
Right.
Like the Model 3 is great, but this car, it's just, if you start counter sliding, if you let go of the steering wheel, I don't even know if it would counter steer. It's kind of strange. There's just no feedback there. So that's kind of the worst part about it. And I don't know, maybe we made that worse with the parts. I don't think we did though. I just think that you notice it more. When you have the yoke, you just blame the yoke. Now you got a steering wheel, it's just like,
Yeah.
But otherwise, you know what?
Ultimately, you know, you're working with a car that was not built out for this, right? So
No.
you've done a lot.
We've basically taken the only car that has 1,000 horsepower
Yeah.
and made it workable. It's a big car.
It is.
It's not what you'd pick to go.
No, but and which is, I think, the coolness of this car is that no one's really done this before. You're kind of like pioneering it, and now the guys are going to take it and run one lap of America with it.
Yeah.
Which is going to be very crazy. There's so much management, you know, to deal with.
No, this is a thing. You've got brake management.
Yeah.
You got power management. You've got charging.
Yeah, but that's a whole other aspect.
Yeah,
Like before, you'd hit a gas
drive into
station, pump
every
it up.
event.
Now,
No,
you know, there's big stints in between it. For those of you that haven't heard of One Lap of America, certainly go look it up. It's an amazing event of, you know, driver skill. You know, like just so much that comes together, right?
But just so you understand, like in this case, they'll be at 2 racetracks in one day and have to drive 3 hours or so between them.
Man.
So just the charging thing, each charging kind of takes 45 minutes if you've got a fast charger right there.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge for sure. But this car will be better. It doesn't lose power as much when the battery goes down.
That's good. Yep.
And it's got a bigger battery.
Right.
So
and you have a bunch of modes that they you know, they can have their 1,000 horsepower if they need it, or lower amounts of power, which I'm assuming
in the
would be
Motec
beneficial for
they
them.
can pick whatever how they want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's by speed. So at low speed you still get 1,000 horsepower and you get that big boost out of the corner.
Yeah.
And then it starts to taper
that's so
down as
cool.
it's not as important at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah.
Because you're about to brake anyways.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, man. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you know, at this point, I think we'll start wrapping it up. But where can people follow this car? And, you know, I guess, you know, obviously Mountain Pass Performance is on
honestly,
Instagram,
the best
Facebook,
thing would be Instagram
Yeah.
and YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in what we're doing, we've got lots of cool videos, more of the technical side and in-car stuff than the Speed Academy videos are. They don't ever feel long enough because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
So give us a follow there, or don't.
Yeah. And
I'm not gonna
you know,
beg you,
anything Tesla related, you guys are the go-to. If you have a Tesla and you're remotely interested in performance, then certainly check these guys out. And what about the team? Where can people follow them as they run One Lap of America?
Team PGR.
Team PGR.
And we'll be posting as well.
So yeah.
If you follow us, we'll link Team PGR as well in all of our posts about it.
Great.
So,
And when is this car leaving here and headed
next weekend
back to the U.S.?
It's going to the States, and then
Soon
we're going. And I'm flying down, and we're going to do some more testing in the States.
Cool.
At some of the tracks that will be on the one-off schedule.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this one. Certainly post in the comments. Let us know if you'd like to see, you know, more of this type of content. And wish
if
those
you were
guys some good
wrong
luck.
about what you thought happened with the brake failure, please comment and say you're sorry, because we like when people acknowledge.
Oh man,
their mistakes.
nobody ever acknoses on the internet. Come on, you know that.
hasn't been bugging
and
you lately.
everybody, well, if you go read those comments, there was probably 200 different opinions based that people said, and they were all based on fact.
Everyone's
all
confident.
fact. It's all
I don't know
fact.
how you can be so confident.
Listen, that's YouTube and that's the internet. So on that one, we will see you in the next one, guys. Thank you for watching.